Florida may be paradise, but not every corner of the Sunshine State comes with a millionaire's price tag. Imagine living minutes from white sand beaches, palm-lined streets, and year-round sunshine without draining your wallet. Today, we're uncovering the 10 cheapest places to live in Florida, and some of these cities will shock you. As we go through the list, think about which one could be your future hometown. But before we start, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We're pulling back the curtain, and you won't want to miss what's coming next. Now let's dive in. Pensacola is one of Florida's hidden gems when it comes to affordable living. As of 2025, the population sits just over 55,000 residents, giving it a small city charm with big city amenities. The median home price here is around $283,000 compared to Florida's statewide median of about $405,000. That's a savings of more than 30%, making homeownership far more attainable. Renters also benefit, with average monthly rent hovering at $1,340, which is well below Florida's average. Overall, Pensacola's cost of living is roughly 12% lower than the national average and noticeably cheaper than the state average. Why is it so affordable? A combination of factors, such as a larger supply of housing compared to demand, lower property taxes than South Florida, and an economy anchored by the Naval Air Station and healthcare sector, keeps prices steady. Add in beautiful Gulf Coast beaches, vibrant culture, and A-rated schools, and Pensacola offers excellent value for the price. Lake City, often called the gateway to Florida, combines small-town living with surprising affordability. By 2025, the population is just over 13,000 residents, giving it a close-knit community feel. The median home price sits at about $235,000, dramatically lower than the state average of $405,000. Renters also save, with average rents around $1,050, compared to the Florida average closer to $1,600. The overall cost of living in Lake City is about 11% below the U.S. average and well under Florida's state average. So, why is it cheaper? Unlike Florida's booming coastal hubs, Lake City lies inland, away from the high demand of beachside markets. Its economy leans on logistics, light manufacturing, and government services rather than high-income industries, which keeps housing prices modest. Affordable land, a slower pace of development, and less competition from out-of-state buyers also help Lake City remain one of Florida's most budget-friendly towns. Dade City, tucked in Pasco County, is a charming mix of history and affordability. With a 2025 population nearing 8,500 residents, it maintains a small-town, old Florida atmosphere. The median home price here is about $265,000, roughly 35% cheaper than Florida's average. Renters also save, with average rents around $1,150, much lower than the statewide figure. Dade City's cost of living overall is approximately 10% below the Florida average, making daily expenses like groceries, transportation, and utilities much lighter on the wallet. Why so affordable? Unlike nearby Tampa, just 40 miles away, Dade City doesn't face the same pressure from corporate relocations or international investors. Land is more available, development is slower, and wages are modest, all of which keep housing costs grounded. For those who want a historic downtown, rolling hills, and easy access to major cities without paying big city prices, Dade City is an underrated bargain. Palatka, located along the St. Johns River in northeast Florida, is one of the most budget-friendly places to call home. As of 2025, Palatka's population is about 10,600, giving it a small but lively character. The median home price is just $210,000, almost 48% cheaper than Florida's statewide average of $405,000. Rent follows suit, with an average around $950 per month, offering tremendous savings for families and retirees. Overall, Palatka's cost of living is about 15% below the Florida average, particularly when it comes to housing and healthcare. Why is it so inexpensive? Palatka's inland location means less demand from retirees and vacation home buyers. The local economy, focused on manufacturing, agriculture, and river-based commerce, doesn't attract the same wage premiums seen in coastal cities. With plenty of available land, slower population growth, and fewer tourism-driven pressures, Palatka remains one of the most affordable and scenic spots in Florida. Now that we've gone through a few cities, I want to hear from you. Which of these affordable Florida towns caught you by surprise so far? Would you ever consider moving inland to save money, or are you set on staying near the coast? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I love seeing your perspectives, and it helps shape future videos. If there's another state or city you'd like me to cover next, let me know down below. And while you're here, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Your support helps me keep making more content just like this. Lakeland, midway between Tampa and Orlando, strikes a unique balance between affordability and accessibility. With a 2025 population nearing 120,000, it's larger than many cheap Florida towns, yet it keeps costs manageable. The median home price is around $295,000, which is about 27% below the state average. Renters also save, with average rent at about $1,350 per month, compared to the state's $1,600 average. Lakeland's overall cost of living is roughly 8% lower than the Florida average, thanks mainly to cheaper housing and utilities. Why is Lakeland more affordable? Despite its growing popularity, it's still seen as a commuter hub rather than a prime destination city. Its economy is rooted in logistics, agriculture, and light manufacturing, which keeps wage levels moderate and speculative real estate investment lower. Add in abundant land and slower-paced growth compared to Tampa and Orlando, and Lakeland delivers a sweet spot of affordability and convenience. Ocala, known as the horse capital of the world, is one of Florida's most affordable mid-size cities. As of 2025, Ocala's population has grown to about 68,000 residents, fueled by retirees and families seeking lower costs. The median home price is about $260,000, which is more than 35% cheaper than Florida's statewide average. Rent averages around $1,200, making it attractive for those not ready to buy. Ocala's cost of living comes in about 9% below the Florida average, with housing and healthcare being particularly affordable. Why so inexpensive? Unlike coastal cities, Ocala sits inland, meaning it doesn't attract the same flood of seasonal buyers or luxury developers. Land is abundant, and the horse industry, though internationally famous, doesn't create housing competition. With modest wage growth and fewer tourism pressures, Ocala remains accessible for everyday Floridians, while offering rolling farmland, equestrian trails, and a slower pace of life. Jacksonville, Florida's largest city by land area, offers surprising affordability for a metro of its size. By 2025, the population has swelled to nearly 1.03 million, yet housing remains relatively affordable. The median home price is about $310,000, roughly 23% cheaper than the Florida average. Renters enjoy lower rates as well, with averages around $1,450, still below the state figure. Jacksonville's overall cost of living sits about 5% lower than the Florida average, largely thanks to housing and transportation savings. Why is it cheaper? Jacksonville's massive land area provides abundant room for development, preventing the housing crunch seen in Miami or Orlando. The local economy, centered on finance, healthcare, and logistics, is strong but not dominated by high-income tech or tourism wages, which keeps demand moderate. Its affordability comes from this balance, a large, growing city with plenty of space to build, keeping costs under control. Gainesville, home to the University of Florida, is both vibrant and affordable. Its 2025 population stands at about 144,000 residents, boosted by a steady student presence. The median home price is around $270,000. Nearly 33% below the state average of $405,000. Rent averages about $1,250 per month, well under the Florida average. Gainesville's overall cost of living is roughly 9% lower than the state average, with particularly affordable housing and healthcare. Why is it cheaper? The strong student housing market keeps rental supply high, balancing demand and preventing rents from skyrocketing. The local economy relies heavily on education, healthcare, and research, rather than high-paying corporate or financial sectors, which moderates wages and housing demand. With plenty of apartments, a slower real estate appreciation rate than coastal markets, and inland geography, Gainesville remains one of Florida's cheapest college towns, with cultural perks and lively nightlife included. And there you have it, the 10 cheapest places to live in Florida in 2025. Each of these cities proves that you don't need a fortune to enjoy sunshine, beaches, and that laid-back Florida lifestyle. Which one stood out to you the most? Could you picture yourself calling one of these places home? Let me know in the comments. I read every single one. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with someone who's dreaming of moving to Florida. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.